proceeding to the realm of commerce. Prepare for the battle of consumerism as we enter the Amazon jungle. Wallets, shield up. Amazon, the modern marketplace where normies find comfort in abundance. As a Spartan, my eyes seek rare treasures in this land of endless choices. Let's hunt for the useful, ignore the rest. Crypto toilet paper, the ultimate bear market survival tool. Let's see where this wild roll takes us. When in doubt, buy in bulk. Wise move. Fiat currency's new purpose, TP. Battle strategy. Most reviews reveals which products have fought the most battles. Let's find the veteran with the highest kill count. Ultra softness for the modern era. From stones to cushiony clouds. Soft or strong TP, Spartans laugh at our plush predicament. 106K reviews for 24-pack of quilted comfort. Supersized family mega roll for the masses with a smooth tier for optimal rations. #1 bestseller, 100K bought last month. Even warriors can't resist modern softening. Spartan approval granted. Swipe to victory. Locate, add to cart.
They say success is the best revenge. Heard they were sleeping again, say it no more. Booty, bounce so fast. Shake, shake, shake that thing. Put 'em in my face, make titties swing. Pop it, clap it hard. Make 'em swipe a card. Jump, make 'em drop hard. Stop it, booty, pop it, burn up. Take it down. Yeah, take it down. Burn up, slap it down. Yeah, slap it down. Make them drop hard, stop and booty, pop it, pop it, pop.
I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Oh.
Crypto world, how's it going? Crypto Stud here with another banger. Well, as I change over to the crypto world concept instead of crypto YouTube, I did make another short video and live trade short video and posted it on YouTube, and then didn't post it on Rumble. So my last video didn't do well on Rumble either, but if you'd like to share some love and follow me on Rumble, it's the same username as it is on YouTube. So it's going to be kind of weird trying to match that as well and make, the same video for that too. It actually takes longer to upload on Rumble than it does YouTube. I mean, most of my videos are about 5 gigabytes, which is pretty massive if you ask me anything about it. Not sure why, not sure how, but they're about 5 gigabytes. And they take a bit of time to upload, and I have pretty fast internet. I practically the fastest internet in the state. But nonetheless, before I babble on more, early video for today. I hope everything is well. Prayers go out to everything that's going on in LA with the fires. My respect for that. It's unfortunate. Things do happen, and it's very unfortunate. Sad. Very sad. But if you watched my last video, we crushed it. We hit our target, and then the crypto market collapsed completely. Had a few good trades in, got a soul short trade in as well from practically the very top. I do kind of want to go over a little bit of like what I was seeing, how I was seeing it, it pretty much was the whole entire market in itself was showing signs of it. Basically, the structure was just very weak, and you know, followed through. We got our trade that we wanted, our setup, and we executed. I also noticed that the dollar kind of played out to the T as well, and Tesla is kind of coming down too for us as well. So overall, from my last video to this video, you know, what we talked and discussed is pretty much playing out to the T. So that's great to see. I'm going to lower my mic volume just a tad bit. I moved it a little closer to me, and I think that might be why the mic is picking up a lot more. Still trying to get a more comfortable feel for where my mic is to in relative position of where I'm sitting. So trial and error, right? I've only been doing this for almost a year now. And I feel like I'm starting to get comfortable now finally, but it's definitely, it's different. Live streaming is different. Doing videos like, you know, these YouTube videos and posting them is different. There's a lot of comfortableness to it, and just change. The perception of it's just so different. Anyhow, the biggest thing we spoke about in my last video as well was the reports. The reports were going to bring volatility. We got volatility. We got a lot of volatility. My last video, we were near 100,000 on Bitcoin. We are now sitting at 92,000 looking for support. We're going to discuss in this video why I think we're just about ready for a rally, almost. We'll take a look at the charts. We'll dive deep into the charts and see. I do want to look at Bitcoin, Sol, ADA, and then we'll look at Tesla. We're going to look at the dollar. Of course, always looking at the dollar. And then I'll probably throw in maybe XOM. I hadn't looked at XOM in a while. It's oil stock. And I think it's looking pretty good. So we'll discuss that a little bit, and then we'll kind of discuss what I'm looking for with Bitcoin in terms of putting a long position in. If you remember, not my last video, but the video before that, maybe a couple of videos before that, we were still looking for that 88,000 range. I still think that's on the table. I would kind of like to see that before we started making another move up high, grab that liquidity, and then head back up. High block is showing about 600 short liquidations right now, which is probably the highest I've seen in a long time. Potentially since like the run from like 76,000 range to the highs. It's a pretty large liquidation there. So I think we're getting close to be due for a rally of some sort, right? Nonetheless, let's go ahead and jump into I do want to see what we have for reports tomorrow quick before I jump into anything else. Let me switch up the view here for everybody. There we go, nice and clean, looking good. Let's see, tomorrow's Friday, so we have unemployment rates and employment unemployment rate. I was right, but just on the wrong report. Non-farm employment change as well. We had those two items. I am kind of stuffy. I hope I'm not getting sick. It's getting pretty cold here. And I did want to get this video out sooner because I am doing a spin class tonight, so I might be dead to the world after this spin class. That's one of my New Year's resolutions, getting more active, getting more fit. It's one of my goals for this new year. I've been slacking on it for past couple months. I need to get back to it. So take a moment away, step away from the charts, do something healthy. I would like to play basketball again, but I'm in not nearly as good shape yet to do that. But it's on the cards for this year. I'm hoping to make it my take profit opportunity is to play basketball again like I used to. Let's see. We have CPI next Wednesday, so remember that. I don't really see anything too major other than the unemployment rate tomorrow. That's going to be a big thing to take in consideration. If that ticks up, that won't do well for us. We want that to kind of either flatline, stay flatline, or lower. If we do lower, that will be good for the markets. We'll get a nice little rally. If it does tick up, I would expect us to go a bit lower. So time will tell. We'll see. Ideally, you want unemployment rate to go down if you're cutting rates. typically that's how the process of that would go. If you're cutting rates and unemployment rates going up, that doesn't work well. It does not bode well. And if you see, as we've been cutting rates, we've kind of been dropping down just a little bit. Outside of December, November to December, we ticked up. So it would be good for us to tick down to keep the trend going. But I can't really project that. Normally I'll say like this report's going to be bearish, this report's going to be bullish. I'm in a mixed bags when it comes to the reports right now. I mean, we've had some really bad reports this week, but I would like to hope that there's some hope for our economy and the future of our economy with rates dropping. But it's not boding well for us, and I don't really want to get too deep into what I think the report's going to be. For me, I want to see it tick down. I want to be either like 4.1 or 4.0% would be great to see. Give us a nice little rally. Hopefully we get that nice little rally after touching our opportunity, our buy opportunity zone. But we're kind of getting into that range again where we're looking to potentially have another long. As you see on my chart here, this is kind of the buy area we spoke about quite a bit. We got front ran on the last one. My last one was like 92, 150. I got in on this position, so a little outside of the area I was looking for. It got front ran. I don't think we're not getting front ran right now. We did swing fill this low right here, but it's just very weak. Very, very weak. The biggest thing for me, though, a few have asked me, is kind of like, what is the perception of like knowing that we'll head back up higher? Like what's the perception of it re-entering the range? So for me, I kind of take the consideration that this right here is the range. We have it about 97, 90. We'll give it 98. Let's do like 98 or so. So typically this is the range that we're kind of playing. You can kind of see I have some lines here drawn up as well from past videos here, but this is kind of the range, like the inner range of this range. So anything above, you look for shorts. Anything above, you look for shorts. This one's a little sloppier. You could technically say that, maybe this is more of the range, but I really like it's kind of more open. The lower you have, the tighter you have it, the more open it is, the more opportunity for once we come out of this range to look for trades. But again, the trades are a lot larger. There's a larger percentage, so you can move it down a little bit more if you want, or you can move it tighter if you want. But ideally, what I like to see is we swing fail the lows. Let me get my pencil here. I swear I know where these pencils are sometimes. The brush. Let me get the brush. But for me, we swing fail these areas right here. These like little swing fail areas right here. Sorry, I can't draw a straight line apparently. Here, we'll do this. So, when we were coming over here onto this was kind of the swing fail area we were looking for. Let me replay the bar. So it looks kind of messy with everything in here. But the concept's still there, right? Hopefully it makes sense. So, you kind of see this, you're like, okay, I'm expecting it to swing fail this area right here. At the time, you probably wouldn't have this box made, this range box made. I mean, there's still some data here, but there's not as much data as we have now. But, you're expecting price to come down into this area right here. And I mean, you could technically make this, you could say that this box is that, you were using this box during this time as well, right? Like we have a touch up here, we have a touch down here, have another touch down here, we have a couple touches up here. So it's a rough estimate of a range within the range, right? But for me, it's like, you kind of want to see price come down here, swing fill these areas right here, come back into this range, and then that's an opportunity for it to come higher. So the concept still applies. Like, I want to see us get some higher time frame candle closures within the range, within our mini range that we've created. I wish this would go away. Go away. Go away. Exit. I'm exiting, but you're not letting me exit. Do I have to play you? All right, we'll just play it. How about that? There we go. Yay. So ideally, we keep touching these lows. We're touching the lows more than we are the highs, but You know, I kind of wouldn't mind seeing us. The concept of this is we swing fail this over here. We did. It's not holding very well. So the next area that I want would be this area right here. But we kind of want the liquidity grab down here at the low. So for me, I would want us to come down here, grab this, come back up, and then work our way up into the range and come here. But say that this got front ran, right? We were front ran here. So we front ran this, came back up in here, and then we slowly, you know, say that this is the low right here. We slowly worked our way back up into this box right here, our little range box. Now, again, you can make the box a little bit larger, you know, take it. It's more of a risk if you make it larger because it could fail and fall out of the box. So you kind of want to have it up a little bit more just so that there is a higher chance that, you know, confirms back into this range, confirms back into this area, get some candle closures in here. And high time, you know, the odds are in your favor that we'll move back up to the top of this range, right? Because relatively, this is all a range, okay? So in my past videos, I posted this as the top of the range. I posted this. Even before we started getting into this area, I was posting this area as well as a range, you know, the high time of this range. Same concept for the low here. We have this low right here. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, I do have this range right here, which is kind of I wouldn't say it's a pipe dream because I'm sure it could happen, but it's definitely an area that I really want to see us get to. And I really want to see us possibly take this liquidity before we move back up to all-time high. It'd be great to see that. It'd be nice to see that. But ideally, you know, you create these boxes, you create these ranges, and you play these ranges. So we are playing this range, and I spoke about it in past videos that, like, right now we're playing this range from 90,000 to 100, 110,000, 100,000, 110,000. So, you know, ideally, this whole area right here is still a range, right? So, as you see by this, you take the lows, you buy the lows, you sell the highs, right? Easy. You take the lows, you buy at the lows, you sell at the high, or you short, you know, you short at the highs, buy at the lows, etc., etc. And it's not going to be perfect. Obviously, we have this wick out right here coming up to the top. You know, it's not perfect, but ideally we came back into the range, worked back down to the lows, kind of got front ran a little bit on these. Came back up. It's not going to be perfect, but it's still a range. They're still playing a range. Came back to the top of this top side right here. Why not short? Why not look for a short here? Same concept, but for me, with how many tests we've had at the low, I really want the liquidity to come down into this range, take this out, and then move back up. Now, for me, if I was looking for a position to take on a long position, we'll look at the charts later in this video and really see the possibility of it. It's starting to look really good, but you know, at one point do we come down here, liquidate, you know, grab liquidity here and then just keep going? Like, the odds could be, you know, we grab this and then we just fall, we keep falling. So yes, it's a good possibility. So for me, I would wait until, you know, we grab this liquidity right here and then we come back into this box, this range right here. And then if you want to be really safe, you wait till you come back up into this range right here. And then assuming we get back into this range, we at least work back up. But again, you're missing percentage moves doing that. So it's always good to try to front run if you can. Like, you know, let this wick out, come back into this range, take the trade right here in this box. And then if it gets up into here, hold it even longer if you can. So ideally, that's what I've been looking for. That's what we have had for a while for this video. The same concept of the high. When I was looking for this high here, you know, we got outside this little box here, but I don't put the box on the screen. It takes up a lot of space. It is kind of annoying, and for me personally, I don't have it, so I just visually look at the area of the range and then kind of guide and guesstimate where potential price will go, right? So we got the liquidity of the high, came up here just a tad bit more, touched my, you know, this box up here, this big resistance zone box that I have up here, and then came back in. And then if you waited till we came back into this range right here, you know, this range box that we just created, and took that trade down to the bottom right here, it's a 5% move. It's a 5% move. I mean, that's incredible gains. It's almost 5,000 points. If you had one full Bitcoin, you would have made $5,000 off that move down. So, and again, I'm on the 2 hour. I'm playing this on the 2 hour. So those are just things like the technical aspects of trading Bitcoin or trading anything for that matter. These little caveats, these little nitpick things that you just you find and you take them. So I hated that I babbled on, but this is really good info. I hope you take it to your advantage. I hope it becomes an advantage for you, and you take that with you. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it now. I was gonna do news articles, but I really wanted to get this concept down more, and I hope it made sense. I hope it's not just rambling on stuff. So the stock market is closed today, so we probably won't get much data going on with the dollar or obviously S&P and Dow since they're all closed. Looks like the dollar, well, it says the dollar is open, but price is dead flat. Anywho, let's go ahead and go to the weekly. So my last video, I spoke about us coming down. We did come down. We came down a lot quicker than I thought we would. Touch that area. Oh boy, double bottom on that area, and then we took off. So it's good to see. I'm just kind of digesting this chart just a tad bit. 2 hours look pretty darn good. Weekly's still looking beautiful. I mean, weekly is complete opposite of what Bitcoin's looking like right now. The day's turning neutral right now, so nothing too bearish on that. 12 hours looking really good. 12 hours looking beautiful too. So I'm pulling bullish. I don't see any reason to not be bullish on the dollar, which isn't going to bode well for Bitcoin. So I'm really thinking we'll probably get that 73,000 buy more so sooner rather than later. But I might eat my short. Ha, get it? Eat my short since I'm in a short. Ha. Anyway, yeah, the dollar's looking really good. It's looking really clean. I don't really see anything bad with it. Coming up on this range, if we can get past this R1, I would say we're off to the races, huh? We'd be hitting some really big highs. Yeah, I'd be working our way back to the all-time high, recent all-time high at least. Let's check out weekly again. Yeah, it's not the all-time high, but man, 19. Jeez, look at that. 164. Oof, dollar was so strong. Crazy. Overall, I mean, the dollar's looking really good. I don't see why we can't test this high again. I'm gonna go ahead and post a little. Let's do a little rectangle. I'm just say, ideally, I would like to see us hit this area, right? Like, imagine that we're coming down on this area, we're coming up on this area, and this area so happens when Bitcoin is hitting the 74,000 range. I think that's a good opportunity for a Bitcoin long, assuming that the dollar would hit this recently all-time high resistance and then drop back into the range, and then possibly that would give a little bit of a rally for Bitcoin to come back, potentially back to all-time highs, right? You want the dollar to cool off and not be so bullish. So same concept like we did earlier. We'll do like a little mini range, kind of like what we were talking about with Bitcoin. We'll set this to, it doesn't really do much. Oh, that's the outside. Well, yeah, see, this is why I try not to do these, leave these on there too much, just because it takes up a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise to it. Let me just do white, I guess. Let's do white and make it like maybe 3% or something. I can't really see it with that. Oh, I'll do 5%. Call it a day. All right, let's save this. So ideally, what we're kind of looking for is we'll come back up into this area, get some strength, come back up into this. That kind of gives the weekly a little bit more time to go up a little higher. And then, I don't know if we'll see a swing fill pattern with how the weekly's looking like that, but at least a test of this area, come back down, come back into this range, play the range for a tad bit, into the summer, end of summer. Again, the dollar moves very slowly, so you know, this move up might take till summer. Who knows? It depends. A lot of it also depends on these reports too. You know, there's been some heavy rallies, like this one right here. There's been some heavy, you know, sells. So, but especially this one right here is a heavy sell right there. And a lot of these are based off reports coming out, you know, that really moves the dollar. That really gives the dollar some conviction to move. So, my last video, I want to say you can write me in the comments too, but I want to say I was kind of bearish on S&P. I would say. I mean, weekly doesn't look very good. It doesn't look good at all. It looks worse than it looks better than Bitcoin's weekly though. Daily's flatlining. I hate seeing that when weekly and the day are just so off. You know, like this one is so off from the weekly. Normally you want to have them both going the same way. The both conviction going the same way always helps. I feel like it's just a better confluence when they both line up practically the same. Like the 12-hour and day look almost as identical, but it's a lot tougher when they're all, you know, kind of wishy-washy to their own direction. I guess I was looking for highs on S&P. We were looking for a swing fail of this high right here before we went down. Hasn't quite happened like we want, and I won't always be perfect, and that's how that is. But I will be perfect on Bitcoin. That's all that matters for here, right? So, I mean, we can still have time to come back up here. I didn't say it was gonna be right away, but I mean, these medium time frames are looking pretty bearish as well. Not looking great. I do wish that the market was open today, because this is gonna start flatlining. You know, there's a reason it wasn't open today. RIP. But these kind of gonna start flatlining just a tad bit, and it's gonna make it hard to, you know, kind of predict where it goes next. It'll take a bit of data. It'll probably take about 3 or 4 days of data to make up the one day that it didn't have data, right? To move again. So yeah, you know, S&P I'm pretty bearish on right now. I can't be bullish on it. I'm just trying to find ways to be bullish on it, and I can't. Let's look at Dow real quick. Oh, Dow's weekly is looking pretty terrible too. Man, not great. Daily's flatlining. Daily's looking okay. 12-hour and day are identical. That's crazy. We just spoke about that. 10 hours identical too. Wow. You know, I am looking a tad bit better on the Dow. And I want to say I was bullish in the last video as well on the Dow. I need to write this down so I remember. But I do want to say I was bullish on the last video on Dow, if I recall right. Other than the weekly was kind of tough for us. But outside of that, it doesn't look too bad. It would be kind of nice to come back down here, make this clean cut right over here, swing fill this, and then work our way back up to the top here. But we're kind of just consolidating this little zone right here. Now, if you look, we do kind of have a range here going on. Let's see if we have any past data we could add to that range. Well, we don't, because we're at all-time high. Duh. Let's go to 6 hour. So we got like this area right here. Kind of a nice little zone we've gotten ourselves stuck into. I kind of wouldn't mind us getting back into this range down here, though. There's just a lot more data right here to play with. Something like that. Like this area right here. Overall, Dow looks a lot better than S&P, so I am I'm leading a tad bit more bullish on the Dow, other than the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame looks garbage. S&P's weekly time frame looks really bad as well. But S&P overall just looks really bad, so I'm pretty bearish on S&P. Dow, you know, I got to be more bullish on this than bearish. XOM. Let's look at Tesla first. My last video, I did say I was looking for us to go down And we are starting to come down just a tad bit, slowly but surely. We did get our first hit. We finally got our first hit of that. Let's see. Yeah, I just don't see reason why we can't come down, at least down to this. The lows of this, 360. I mean, that's looking pretty good for us. Let's go ahead and check. Let's see what Juxtapost says for us. Yeah, weekly's looking really bad. Weekly's in worse shape than Bitcoin is, to be honest with you. So I'm not super bullish on Tesla right now, unfortunately. Daily still looks like crap. 12 hours still looks like crap. I mean, these medium time frames are starting to get a little better. They're starting to flatline on the 0 line, so that's good. But the weekly's really pulling it down and making it really bearish. Let's check the 4 hour. Yeah, I just don't like the 4 hour either. 6 hour. I'm still leaning bearish on Tesla. I spoke about this in the last video, us hitting this area. I don't see why we still can't. Unfortunately, I just can't be bullish on this. Weekly really needs to cool off. It needs to come down, at least down to here or so. You know, like this area right here would be good. That'd give us time. So I think it's going to be a slow bleed. It's not going to be anything super fast. You know, we have unemployment claims come out tomorrow, CPI on Wednesday, next Wednesday, so those really can move the market, and it might not even favor my prediction. So that's why I always put emphasis on the reports. You know, the reports are key. It doesn't matter what the chart looks like. You gotta wait for the reports to come out. Reports will tell you. Reports will give you direction. Charts will kind of set you up and point you in the right way. But boy, when those reports hit, you know, a good example is this week. You know, we were shorting Bitcoin. We're getting ready to shorten Bitcoin and stuff, and those reports just came out and they were hot off the press and they were bearish. And that just gave us further conviction for our short play. And here we are, you know, Bitcoin's at 92,000 and we shorted it from, what was it? Well, I initially shorted at 107, but I added more, about 102-ish to my short, my 107 shorts, which screwed my entry at the very top. But, you know, I got a tad bit more now and more risk, more reward, right? Get a drink of water. Give me a second. All right. So, yeah. Sorry, Moon Boys for Tesla. I can't help you there. XOM. So I did sell out of my XOM, about 25% of my XOM position that I bought at like $48. So I've been in it for quite a while. I bought it about probably 4.5 years now. I bought it and I've just been kind of riding it out, and I'm kind of tired of being in it. It's not producing as much as it was. So I'm kind of getting out of that position, getting into other things that I can lose my money instead of just slowly losing money in XOM. But the weekly is starting to look pretty darn nice. I'd like to see that right there. We have double bullish divergence. The weekly, that looks beautiful. I wish Bitcoin was showing something like that. The daily looks to be bottoming out pretty nice. I mean, you know, taking a trade on these lows is great. Swing fail of these lows. Really great position. For me, like, if I was to think about getting back in or re-adding, you know, the profits I did at about 25, the profits I took off, the 25% profits I took off, I would probably re-add kind of like in this area. I really like this area right here. So, you know, we'll go ahead and just put something like right here, maybe somewhere's in this area. And see what we get. But I mean, it's looking pretty darn good on these higher time frames. Let's drop down to the 10 hour. I mean, 10 hours drop, like, bottom out as well. All these time frames look really good. So Bitcoin's having a nice little run right now, 92.3. It's popping off just a tad bit. XOM on the 6 hour is starting to turn over a little bit, so I think we're due somewhat for a pullback, but these higher time frames are really bottom out pretty nicely. So, you know, I took profits and I'm pretty happy with it. I don't expect this to go too crazy, especially with the new administration coming in. So, you know, but for me, I would probably buy again over here if we get back. Maybe take a little bit of my 25% off. If we go any lower, I'll probably take the rest of my position and close it out. Take my profits for it. So it was about 45. Yeah, it was like around. I can't believe it was that long ago. It's about 45. So 138% gains, not bad for stock. Well, stock like, right? So that was a good trade. Let's go ahead and get to. I do want to show Sol real quick. This beautiful trade on Sol that I took. I was gonna live stream it, but I was like, you know what? What the heck? Nah. It's difficult. I'm not a fan of live streaming. It really slows down my PC. I have a really strong PC. That's the sad thing. But it really slows down my PC. So this is a pretty good setup, and Bitcoin kind of did the same thing. We tested the highs over here, and then we swung fail these, came back in the range. If you shorted coming back into the range here, you know, coming back down here, and then say you kind of just left it to here, so that's 10%. I mean, I still have my position open. I got in about a little bit higher than the 219. It was about 220-ish. It was about here-ish. And I mean, I still have it open right now. So I made 15% leveraged. I think it was about, I want to say it was 17. I'm at 1700% right now on my position leveraged, like 35, 45 or something. So, but that was a great trade setup. And here's the other. I do want to try to get this video out quick because we are getting some movement right now from Bitcoin. Go ahead and jump onto the weekly for Bitcoin and see what we can find. Weekly Juxtapost is looking miserable, terrible. And also another thing is, you know, you see how the buys are just starting to flatline pretty heavily. Kind of gives an indication of a top out signal right there. You see how the moving average of the last 14 days a little higher. Normally it kind of indicates that the top out is commencing. On a weekly basis, it's a bit stronger too, and now buys are coming out. It looks like the shorts are kind of hitting resistance of this MA right here, the 14-day moving average. I kind of want to make these, enhance these a tad bit more so they're a little bit stronger and give more, and kind of give signals. But the weekly, you know, seeing the weekly look like that is terrible. We had that bearish divergence. It played out to some extent. I don't think it's done though, but like I spoke in one of my last videos, we had a bearish divergence on the weekly and it took a while to play out. Right over here, see that? But this one took, we had, I think it was like what, 28 days or something it took. And we're pretty much at 28 days. I guess if we say, let's say before it rallied back, you know, 32 bars, right? We go over here, we got the bearish divergence, and then we say 38 bars or so, right? So from there, I guess we still have time for that to play out. On the weekly, 38 bars would put us, boy, that'd put us, what, September timeframe? Oh man, and I mean, I didn't see the percentage wise of that. What was the percentage of this? Let's see. If we were to go to the next bullish, that was 12 bars. Say that we went, so we got back into like a typical buy zone, like, you know, on a weekly time frame. Seeing us get into this range right here is an automatic buy. So that was 35 bars and about 71%. So if we did 31 bars from here, 31 bars and 71% would be, I mean, I just don't, that would be insane. 71%. Let me make sure. I wish these kind of saved on here. 71% from here to there. 71%. Yeah, that's insane. I mean, it would put us right back into this range right here. 30 something. Oof. That would be crazy. I mean, we would have swung failed the heck out of all this, though. I mean, that would be crazy to see. Crazy. So that, you know, that's how the weekly looks. It's tough. It's tough to say. You know, it needs to come down. Obviously, it's looking pretty bad. Days looking pretty bad too. Days just starting to turn back over now. 12 hours looking really miserable. These time frames just look very bad. 10 hour looks bad. We should start getting some good support now back in the 8 hour. 8 hours should look a little bit healthier. 8 hours starting to look a little healthier. We do have bullish divergence forming right now. It hasn't confirmed yet. 6 hours still not looking great. I mean, these time frames aren't looking too great. I think the 4 hour and 2 hour are about the only ones that look good. Yeah, these are starting to look really good. Although, you know, the concept, I didn't take a scalp long yet, but I'll probably wait till we get back over here, maybe 93.5 or so, or even back into this range right here before I start looking for a long. Just because the higher time frames still look really bad. But if you took away, you know, all these drawings that we have here, we'll hide them all. And, you know, you take this low right here, the swing fail, just the basics of the basics of one of my bread and butters with trading. 91.5 was the low. We swung fail it already, and we've almost gone up 1,000 points since swing failing that area. You know, as simplest as it can be, that's a good trade setup right there. That's a good long setup right now. Now, me personally, you know, I keep saying that I want this 88,000, 88,000, 88,000. And the reason being is just like this whole range area gets taken out. And this whole range area we've been playing since December or November, actually, since November. You know, I want that large liquidity to be taken out, and then we make a move up. Now, the fact that like high block is at 600 short liquidations, and it just let's see here. Let's go here. Let me just pop it up real quick. I had to check to make sure I was still recording. I am. But seeing these large liquidations like this, 672 on this right here, that's crazy. It's probably a little less now since we've gone up 1,000 points, but wait till it loads here. I did want to look at EXO too. See what EXO. I mean, it's still high, 668. So, you know, my thing is, we've always had this move since we've been having this move up, since we've been ranging 70s, 70,000, stuff like that. One of my rules is like, you know, once the level hits 500 liquidations, most times it's looking for a reversal pattern. There's an opportunity for it to reverse. It's an opportunity for the price to reverse. We're at that now. We're past that. You know, that reversal might not come for 88. It might be here. You might be watching the stream right now, and you know, we're rallying, and we might rally right back into this range right here. But for me, we need this area. We need this liquidity taken out. Now, do we come back up here to 95 or so, then come back down, hit this area? Now, remember my last video, we were playing this zone right here, and I said, you know, I'm bullish. I'm looking for this area to be taken out. We took this area out. We came back into the range, and we dropped heavy. Great trade, great position. You can't beat that. But at the end of the day, like I look at this, and these are just you have to take the plan, you have to take the trades that come to you. So if you didn't take the swing fail of these lows, you know, that's fine. I still believe that we're gonna get this area down here. I truly believe that this area is going to become sooner rather than later. Maybe a bad report comes out. Maybe next Wednesday the CPI comes out and it's bad. We get our price. We get that low. So, but for me, Bitcoin's higher time frames are still looking pretty bearish. Medium time frame, we do need a bounce. It is looking like we should be bouncing a little bit, a tad bit of a bounce play. But overall, I'm still leaning bearish, sadly enough. So anyway, I did want to look at XO real quick, and then we're going to head out here, and I'll let you have fun. Let's see. Let's just do MEBTC. Load it. Sorry, I should have had this all loaded already. I pre-refreshed it when I started the stream or the video, and I just didn't have it set. So open interest looking pretty healthy. Go to 2 hours. Let's check it out here. Yeah, it's looking, it's pretty neutral. Open interest price is looking pretty neutral for me. I don't really, I can't really gauge anything on this. Flatlining while price goes down. I mean, that's looking pretty healthy for the most part. So yeah, I hope this is enough. I hope you enjoy this video, and till the next one, right? Peace.
With you.